Now, here's your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Henry Groff.
Well, we are dealing with our very cold weather today. We do have that cold weather advisory in place until noon. And of course, we do have plenty of school closures and delays, and you can get that full list over on our website, WTAP.com. So we're going to be dealing with that this morning. It's still very cold into the afternoon. However, we're still going to be tracking that next round of winter weather that may be impacting us heading into the weekend, bringing in that chance for snow. But we are going to also looking at very frigid weather on the way on top of that. Right now, temperatures across the region this morning sitting in the teens, down towards the south and up towards the north, around 8 degrees to about 10 degrees in Marietta. And now the MOV airport is finally getting that temperature data in. And so Parkersburg also around 10 degrees at the moment. We'll get temperatures into the 20s this afternoon, but wind chills are still going to be in the teens, so make sure you are bundled up before heading out the door. Now, we do get a bit of a relief going into Wednesday and Thursday from those daytime highs in the 20s, but as you can see, going into the weekend with that winter system approaching, it is going to get colder, and we could look at daytime highs on Saturday down into the teens. So we're still going to keep a close eye on this system developing towards the weekend, impacting Texas as it continues to move towards the east through the weekend. It's going to be bringing in plenty of moisture and plenty of cold air from the north. So as that moves through, it is going to be bringing in a lot of precipitation across the country. But the question is, how close does this low get to the Middle Ohio Valley? And that's going to determine how much snow we could see through the weekend. Now, going into tomorrow, we're also going to be looking at some precipitation, but really not anticipating that much. So we will see cloud cover increasing Wednesday morning as the system comes through, anticipating mainly showers, but we could still see some snow showers mixing in. But again, we're going to be getting temperatures back up into the 40s, so nothing is going to be sticking to the ground. And then going into your Thursday, we should be able to welcome back in some sunshine, and we're certainly going to need it. It is going to be sunny today, but I don't think anybody wants to try to enjoy sunshine while it's only in the 20s this afternoon. Mainly clear skies into tonight as we drop down to around 14 degrees, still looking at wind chills around the single digits for us, and then we get into those 40s, but of course, dealing with some hit or miss precipitation there. Dry on Thursday and Friday, but we go back on that cooling trend once again, upper 20s towards the end of the weekend. More overnight lows as we deal with that winter weather over the weekend. We're going to see those back down to around 7 degrees, and we only get back into the mid-20s by Monday. Emma Grace.